So Sustainable Play is funded by Welsh Government's Children and Families Delivery Grant to enhance the well-being of children and families across Wales. The funding is really about trying to engage children in healthy activities, and the activities we undertake with children really does depend on each community. So before we go into a community, we'll do some legwork, we'll engage with key stakeholders, schools, local councillors, the local authority, other third sector organisations, to really try and understand the needs of the children and families that we're working with. Generally, there's a need that's been highlighted to us, either through our own work or from the work of external stakeholders, to tell us why it's so important that those children and families are supported through sustainable play. Our approach to play is to not impose any particular play structure on a community. We really do strive to understand the needs of the community. So we could be told that maybe children in an area, or the children that we work with, are play deprived. We will work with the community for as long as is needed, so we won't prescribe a programme of 2 months of play sessions. Instead, we'll support the community through the weekly play sessions, but also through play training and support for community groups. Our delivery teams are made up of qualified play workers. They're spearheaded by senior play workers with lots of experience within their field. But we really try to support people's learning as much as possible. As an organisation, Groundwork really does care about employability and training.
One of the mums actually shared on her social media site that she was coming up to these sessions at the park. I was a little bit interested up to what it was, because there was nothing like it in the area. There'd been nothing like it before. So I came up with my children and I was amazed. Lots of outdoor play. The children led the whole session. They weren't told not to do anything. There was nothing, nothing, the limits. They could do anything they wanted. They could build dens, they could climb a tree, they could make a swing in the tree. To me, positive risk taking is amazing for children. Them finding their boundaries, especially outdoors, I think is really, really important for children. The Sustainable Play team, they've kind of showed us how to put on play sessions that aren't so structured and stuffy, because sometimes children just want to do whatever they want to do. They don't want anybody telling them, they can't climb a tree, they can't do this, they can't do that. So the amazing thing about the Sustainable Play team is that they gave us the confidence to work within our community, knowing what we can and can't do, what our limitations are. And with support with the Sustainable Play team, we found we can definitely do these things. We know how to do risk assessments now, we know how to organise the sessions, and we know how to deliver the sessions. The changes that have been made in our area since the Sustainable Play team got involved are massive. A couple of years ago, this community centre was mainly used for adults. It wasn't anything really spectacular going on for the children. Now we feel that we've gained the confidence to get involved in our community, and lots of the mums and dads have as well. They felt they didn't have a voice before, but now there's lots of us who are working together to bring lots of positive things into our community.
In school, there aren't 24 to 28 students on roll here, and group sizes vary from 6 up to about a dozen maybe. And the students who actually access work, they almost isolated themselves. 2 of the girls got on with each other, pretty much to the exclusion of other students. And as I mentioned earlier, one of our young lads, very reluctant to talk. If you prompted him, he'd talk, but he'd never really engage in conversation. I think through going on Groundworks, they've found more of a confidence to actually say, this is who I am, I have a voice. As a teacher for all the students involved, I've noticed in class that whereas before, yes, they'd answer a question if I directed it at them, they are more now willing to maybe offer an idea. But more importantly, from my point of view, is they'll ask questions if they're stuck. Because there is quite often this thing about, I can't let the teacher know I don't know what I'm doing, because I should know what I'm doing. But they are now saying, well, I don't know, so help me a little bit more so I can do what I'm doing. The biggest aim for me was, what I wanted most was that these students would, whatever they were given, get on with it and work with the others and kind of lose some of their inhibitions. And from my point of view, that a lot of them went on the first day. We went every Friday for 6 weeks. Everybody wanted to go back. They kind of created a nice, friendly, warm environment for our students really, really quickly. I've seen a change in them, and it has been a change, as I say, in terms of being more confident, and it's been sustainable, because Groundworks was a few months ago now, and it has developed.
I was introduced to the Annan when I first came into post. There was a partnership meeting a few weeks later, and we set about a meeting. From there on in, we were very like-minded, reading off the same page as to what we were trying to achieve, whilst at the same time trying to be as innovative and sustainable as we could be. And that partnership has continued very positively since. I'm very pleased with what has happened. It was just another year I think we would have headed and made a deeper impact. But for now we've started, so it's just being innovative enough now to see how we can continue. But I know we wouldn't have been where we are with some of these projects if it hadn't been for having the sustainable plating.
This is a part of a county-wide approach, I think. So we've used the Sustainable Play team to come in and offer play theory. Okay, so this is a recognised qualification. This then means that the parents could then form part of a bigger picture within Pembrokeshire to use play spaces and create play opportunities. So the play officer for Pembrokeshire, Damien, he said that this activity suits my agenda in terms of upskilling parents, but also suits a county-wide agenda. So we've potentially got, with the DBS checks, with the play theory, we've got a group of volunteers who could have the skills, the confidence, the experience to then go and do some play work within Pembrokeshire. So it's therefore sustainable and future-proof. So that's really where it fits in for our school, but also in a wider remit. Everything that I'd hoped for has been met and then some. From my point of view, thinking about bits of paper and okay, that the families come from point A to point B, I can put that on a spreadsheet, and that's lovely, and that's great from my point of view. It's something that's measurable, it's tangible. But I think it's that attitudinal change. I think it's that increased confidence. I think that's really where the future is. So I think it's definitely something that if you're considering it for your school, for me it's a no-brainer. I've got the results that I was hoping for. My parents' expectations have already been met, and they're ready to kind of go out there.
The legacy I hoped there would be from this funding was a greater understanding of children's need to play, and for communities that we've supported and engaged with to be more accepting of play, of children playing within their communities, and to also allow children to play in a variety of ways. So for children and families to really understand the benefits and to spend more time playing together. The sustainability for children playing isn't just about children playing in supervised play sessions, but it's about children having the permission to play outside throughout the year in all types of weathers.